legendary level. Yeah, Pair Strike does run it. There's a lot of people who run Dark Story. But Hero Story is more commonly ran. Has features a little bit more skips, more well-known of a story. It looks like Drakodan's off, and looks like we're off.
Yeah, just gonna sync up. You'll see Drakodan's stream pause for a few seconds. That's normal.
So for those of you that don't know this game, this is Hero Story of Sonic Adventure 2. A lot of mechanics to this game, a lot of intricacies there that we're going to see on display from both of these runners. Again, both these runners competent in their own rights. So we're going to see some high flying action. We're going to see some speed.
Yeah, and we're probably going to go. We're probably going to see both runners attempt to see E-skip here at the beginning.
Yep. So there's that pause. Now with City Escape Skip, we're going to see basically what we're going to try to do is abuse the animation that comes off of these ramps by going over the speed that is intended. Ooh. And Wanamaker
gets the skip. Drakodan does not. That's going to give Wanamaker about a 30-second lead.
Depending on the awkward camera angle there, but he'll be able to correct that pretty soon.
Oh yeah, he's gonna fix the camera instead of going through the rail section backwards. That maybe uses about 5 seconds, but it's definitely a lot safer.
Yeah, so Wanamaker taking a very early and fairly substantial lead with City Escape Skip. Like Jazz said, we're looking at about 30 seconds of time save over Draco, but we'll see if he's able to finish out the level with that speed.
So essentially how that skip works is that extra speed off of the ramp pushes you out of bounds briefly, and you touch a dash pad while out of bounds. And then you just happen to land later in the stage, just by chance. By how the level is designed.
Right. Now, for those that have never seen that skip before, it's deceptively hard. That is not a skip that we typically see very often in race formats, let alone marathon formats. Runners will attempt it because it's a very small time loss to actually go for the skip. But to see the skip actually done, I mean, it's a challenging skip to get. There's a lot of variables when it comes to the height, the speed, and the exact location you hit the wall. So seeing a CE skip is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I believe we had one race earlier in this tournament where both runners got it at the same time. That was pretty wild.
Dang. So now we're going to see Wanamaker on Bigfoot. He's going to utilize the front box here to try to get some quick hits on Bigfoot. Now, every time you hit Bigfoot, he's going to stumble backwards a little bit, allowing Wanamaker to continue to roll onto the front box and pepper Bigfoot with multiple hits until eventually he goes down.
That looked like a 22 to me. Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah. Very good.
Now, I suspect Draco might be aiming for a 21 on this fight, which is about as good as you can do. If you get these hits frame perfectly, Bigfoot will actually not move backwards at all, making the next hits easy. So yeah, that looks like a very clean fight from Draco. Could be even frame perfect. We'll see. No,
2150. Wow.
Fairly fast.
Absolutely. So we're seeing the first example of RNG. Knuckle stages are based on RNG. 3 pieces total in the levels, and all of our runners know how to get to the piece, usually with only 1 piece hit required. Some bad RNG from Wanamaker. That's a pretty far piece that he just got there, but he's going to finish it up with in front of the green stripe, red and green stripe mountains. So decent RNG for him. As Drakodan picks up one right in front of the 2 stars.
I found him.
Look at the 4 eyes. It looks like.
Yeah, whirling container.
And the final piece, Pillar Without a Treasure. So a little bit better RNG for Drakodan here.
Yeah, he will be pulling a few seconds back there.
Yeah, that third piece for Wanamaker was technically a free piece, but can be challenging to see.
Didn't see it though, unfortunately. This is a very straightforward boss fight. Literally, you just point straight forward and shoot.
And Eggman embarrassingly loses to Tails, of all people. All right, Prison Lane's going to see a couple of speed tactics for Tails. Now, Tails' mech, overall, when it's at its top speed, moves at a fairly brisk pace, but the problem with Tails' mech is that when it stops, or the mech it slows down, it takes a while for the acceleration to really kick in to get back into top speed. The way that we get around doing that and having to slow down is you'll see Wanamaker doing this. You'll see Draco doing the same thing. We jump around the turns. That maintains Tails' speed, allowing us to keep that max speed instead of having to slow down. Here comes a gate hop. Wanamaker hitting that pretty well.
This is probably one of the more technical Tails stages because of all of the very tight corners you have to take and all the narrow hallways. So it can be quite tricky to optimize it completely. Yeah,
very, very, very much so. So those gate hops are essentially skipping the need to destroy an enemy that allows it for a small platform elevator to move. Fairly impressive trick to get, so it does require pretty precise movements to get up there. Both competitors doing fairly well in this level.
Yeah, both of them having mostly clean runs through it so far.
We'll see Wanamaker targeting a few enemies here early before you even see them. He'll be able to target a couple enemies right here, looking right through a wall, abusing Tails' red dot aiming mechanic. Oh, it doesn't get the second gate hop, though.
Second gate.
Draco That's a small window.
Early lock on through that door. That's nice.
So here comes Drakodan in the attempt to do one. Wanamaker missed, and he ends up getting it.
Wanamaker ends up with a 144, partially lost time to missing that gate hop. Drakodan to the 137. That's a fairly good time.
Yeah, so we're seeing the gap start to close, even with City Escape being on Wanamaker's side.
Yeah, already this race is pretty close.
All right, Metal Harbor, probably one of the more impressive to watch Sonic stages. A lot of spin dashing, a lot of jumping through walls, and as we see, Wanamaker showing off a very impressive loop skip.
Yeah, that was a very nice under loop.
We'll see some light out of bounds play here.
Difficult to get.
Yeah, very difficult.
Plays it safe there, and instead of doing under loop, opting for the over loop. Accidentally has to hit that spring. So he's going to lose a bit of time at the beginning here.
So you'll notice what Wanamaker and Drakodan are both doing. They're actually doing what's called the spin dash cancel. So when on a flat platform like Drakodan is, he'll enter into a spin dash and immediately exit it. That is the fastest way of moving on a flat surface. But when these competitors are going downhill, they'll remain in ball form, as canceling would slow you down in that regard.
Neither of them go for police skip. It is risky, so...
All right, here comes the first example of a rocket skip using a spin dash jump when Sonic is angled up on the rocket. Wanamaker showing that off very impressively with a 1270.
Yeah, 1270 is fairly good.
Drakodan to do the same.
Also going for it.
And 1225 still very good.
Much better than mine earlier today. I almost died.
I did die, so twice. I actually got to the little bumper pad and completely missed somehow. But, all right, so we see a loop skip there from Wanamaker, and it's a 128, pretty good
too. 128.
Drakodan doing the same, and 129. Very close.
This is about a second, but those are close. Now, they're probably going to approach this boss fight very differently. Wanamaker is going to use storage to get all 3 hits on Shadow, which is essentially when you start holding the action button before you start charging a spin dash, you have the hitbox of a somersault. So you have all of the properties of a somersault, so you can do damage with it. And Draco is going to start by doing a spin dash chain right into the storage hit, just getting a faster early hit here.
Both should lead to great times too, but we'll see the big variance there in strategy.
Wanamaker has a very clean 1142, no high jumps or anything, so that's a nice fight. Draco kind of messes up his strategy here, gets a high jump, ends with a 1242, which is still not bad.
Still not bad. Our competitors are entering Green Forest now, which can be a very challenging stage in the sense that the stage itself has a lot of pitfalls that are very easy to basically cancel out your movements, throw you off the stage. There's a lot of things that can happen here. We'll see these competitors go at it. There is a green forest wall run. I'm not sure if Wanamaker does that, but I know Draco has the ability to do the wall run. I don't know if he'll opt to do it, though, with a race this close.
So certainly every hill in this stage, pretty much, you have a chance of flying off if your spin dash training is just slightly off. It's very frustrating to go quickly through the stage. You see Draco flying off a hill already.
Oh yeah, I would argue that this might be the worst put together Sonic stage too.
I would agree, certainly, especially after what happened to me in this stage today.
So Wanamaker does a little bit of a loop skip there, not too terribly challenging. He does a spin dash off the side and then does a homing attack to clear the gap. Drakodan will do the same. Yeah, saves about 3 to 4 seconds over taking the loop. All right, we see where the Green Forest wall run setup would be on Wanamaker's side. We'll see if any other competitor goes for it here. I'd be surprised if they do.
And Wanamaker's not going to go for it, just going to take a loop skip. That's pretty safe.
Here comes Drakodan, also doing the loop skips as well.
Also just going to do a loop skip.
So with the Green Forest wall run, we would have seen the competitors running up the side of the very tree that they're bouncing up right now. Very complex trick, one of the most advanced techs in the game in order to be able to pull it off. So I don't doubt and blame these competitors for not doing it. Very challenging. Another loop skip here from Wanamaker as he shoots off the side. It's about the same type of setup as the loop skip earlier in the stage. Gets that very cleanly, as does Draco. Draco getting loop speed out, though.
Loop speed, yes.
Yeah.
So it looks like Draco's time in this stage is going to be a bit faster. He's going to save some time back with a 136.
Yeah, well, the gap continues to close.
Huh, no problem.
136 is actually a fairly good time for no wall run.
All right, Pumpkin Hill. We're gonna see an example of a power up for Knuckles as he's gonna get the dig bracelet or whatever the heck it's actually called.
Shovel claws.
Yeah, all right, there you go.
And we can even
as often as we run it.
Yeah.
I always forget the name of it.
We even cancel the little shovel claw picking up animation by grabbing a hint at the same time, and they both get that. So
it's closer. 2 more left.
All right, they get the pieces almost at the exact same time, RTA here. Yeah. See, but you can't take it with Scarecrow being the other piece.
Looks like Wanamaker's going to be the first to the second piece.
Instead of a triangle, good RNG for Wanamaker, at least average.
Oh yeah, that's certainly not bad.
Suffered from
Draco doesn't get the best RNG here. Does have to go kind of out of his way to get this last piece.
So Wanamaker able to get some ground here.
Yeah, we'll see if he does the dig into the... No, he's just going to dig it the safe way. That's probably a smart thing to do in a race. You can get a drill dive onto that piece, but it's a bit risky.
So again, we see this gap between Wanamaker and Drakodan. Wanamaker with still a small lead over Drakodan. But again, race, man, so close.
Oh yeah, such a good race so far. I'm going to assume both runners are going for zero cycle here.
Oh yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, Draco is for sure.
So Mission Street's a cycle-based level. There's going to be a couple of weights later on that we're going to try to get to as quickly as we can so that we can get up into the next area of the level faster than originally thought possible. This jump right here, we used to think was not possible to do, but then we discovered that a well-timed pause buffer hover jump will get you right onto the weight. Drakodan going for it as well.
Ooh,
oh, he misses it!
That's going to cost him. He's not going to be able to make the zero cycle anymore. The best he can now make is first cycle, which is about 12 seconds slower, I'd say.
Yeah, so Wanamaker hitting that zero cycle jump. We'll see if he can continue that, though, as he still has a couple more barriers to try to get over before he can actually get onto the zero cycle weight. This being one of them, gets over the black wall there. You'll see him fall off the side of the map coming up here.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt. He could still make the cycle if he plays the rest perfectly, but it's gonna
go for the box snipe here. Oh,
he might go for half cycle instead.
That is going to be a half cycle. go.
Yeah, I would
Whoops.
definitely attempt half cycle at this point.
Yeah, me too, for sure. And he'll get on top of that weight. So the weight in the back there that you saw going away as Wanamaker entered these weights is the 0 cycle weight. So Wanamaker will take a half cycle instead, meaning that if all things are consistent, it'll be about a 6-second gap between Wanamaker and Draco after this level.
Half cycle does still save about 4 seconds over first cycle, so yeah. Or
about
4 or
4
6,
seconds,
or I don't know.
Something like
Something
that.
around there. Around there.
Right.
I feel like it's 4, but I'm not sure.
It could be, yeah, you know what? That sounds right. 6 would also sound, I don't know, I could be convinced either way.
We do call it a half cycle, but I do think it saves less than what half of a cycle would save. I do think it is 4, if I recall correctly.
So 217 from Wanamaker. We'll see Drakodan finishing up here pretty soon. That box is elusive, man, for a stationary item. It's hard to hit. And a 219.27 for Draco, so you see a little bit of hustle there from Draco, only losing 2 seconds out of Wanamaker's time.
Yeah, he had a very clean ending. Only lost about 2 seconds despite having the first cycle instead of the half.
And here comes Aquatic Mine. We'll see a couple of free piece checks right here from Wanamaker.
It doesn't seem like he got any free pieces. There could be more free pieces up in the top here, though.
Let's see if Drakodan gets lucky. Doesn't appear to be. Oh, he doesn't get a piece in off the bat, though.
Oh,
and a reset piece for Draco. Yikes.
Very bad first piece. He's going to reset it.
Ghost window not terrible for Wanamaker. We'll see where his final piece takes him. Relatively close to where he is right now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, great RNG there from Wanamaker. At least I think so. Maybe my barometer of what's good. Different.
40 is not a bad time.
Yeah, I mean, I would take a 40 anytime, you know? Any run. Give me a 40 every time. Drakodan showing an out-of-bounds play here. Oh, goes to the wrong spot. That's all right.
That can be in 2 places. It's kind of hard to guess. He gets a 39, which is nice. But he did have to have that reset for that first piece. So he is going to be losing time here.
And now we get to the most exciting level of the entire run, Route 101. High-flying action, high-octane gameplay. This is what brings in new runners to the game. You see Route 101, you just want to speedrun the heck out of this game. I know it.
So yeah, you can essentially increase your speed cap by going into a drift, and you can just keep snaking back and forth to keep this drift throughout the whole course. So you can just keep full boost speed the whole time. So that's what we're seeing from both runners right now. And it looks like the gap between both of them is about, it looks like 16 seconds or so. So it's
still super close. Yeah, that can be covered very quickly with any Knuckles level, let alone barring any mistakes.
Yeah, and the stages right after this are major choke points for basically everyone who runs this game. Hidden Base, followed by Pyramid Cave and Death Chamber.
Oh yeah.
Just a lot of things can go wrong. And
very tough levels coming up.
Yeah, very tough technical stages after this. So it's still anyone's game right here.
So we want to get really technical. Wanamaker didn't get a boost there, so he did slow down a lot. So basically every time you go up a hill, you slow down. So traditionally we try to save our boosts for whenever we go uphill to negate the decrease in speed. My God, I'm boring myself just talking about Route 101. What a great level, though.
I'm sure ID Geek would have much more to talk about.
Right.
He's found a whole bunch of strategies that save a couple tenths of a second here and there.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, so that's the one thing I would love.
2 routines. It's crazy.
Let's just we got to get some people grinding out the IO world record of Route 101 again. Oh man, talk about monotony.
I mean, it's quite beautiful when Geek does it. The lines he takes, all those corners, it's something else. I don't know how to be so precise in a car while drifting back and forth like this.
That's tough for sure. We do see a little bit of slight, I guess, do I even want to go into this? There's a little bit of wiggle variance in terms of how Draco's wiggling and Wanamaker. I'm not going to go into it. That's jeez, oh,
Yeah, if you wiggle less, you can sometimes like save a bit of time from that.
Yeah.
So
some people say it's easier to control too.
Oh yeah, it might be. Yeah. So
I
Draco's
wiggle
going to
really
come out of
fast,
there
though.
a few seconds faster with a 215. Was it? Yeah. 215.
Yeah, 215. Pretty good. So we got the sand levels coming up here. This is actually a very challenging section for our runners because for every hidden base, pyramid cave, and death chamber, arguably some of the hardest levels for each of these individual characters. Maybe not for Sonic, but very challenging levels nonetheless. So we'll see Wanamaker abusing the hover jump, which we saw a lot on Mission Street.
He's going to go for a corner clip here, and he does go for this far corner in the way back. A little bit slower, but much safer. Very, very easy to hit that corner dead center.
And he gets it. Very good.
Looks like Draco is going to go for axle jump, which is a pause hover over the fence here.
Ooh.
Ooh, it gets
It's over there third
try. Now there's a large gap that can be covered with a perfect pause hover, but you do need a frame perfect pause to clear that.
Ooh, barely
So-
misses the top of the bungee, or the pulley.
Yeah, you can get a backup of jumping off of the pulley platform, but it's kind of tricky and not consistent from my
Very much
experience.
so.
Draco is just going to be shooting down this platform a little bit slower than hovering across, but you don't need a frame perfect pause hover, so it's, it's safe.
Wanamaker with a very good jump right there over a couple of the doors and boxes and such. This is trickier than it looks, too. These competitors are definitely making this area look really easy.
Oh,
And
Draco
Drakodan's got
misses
his
that
back up on the
jump
box
there.
there, yeah. So these are two areas. This is the out of bounds play for Wanamaker. Oh, he falls into the
Ooh,
sand.
That's going to cost him a lot. He's now behind Draco.
Crazy turn of events there. We'll see if Drakodan can clear it. Gets the first jump. He's going to go on top of this platform and out of bounds. Drakodan able to clear that corner and now takes the lead.
And he gets that totally without pause hovering, too. Really impressive.
And Wanamaker now coming back through. Drakodan ending the level. Looks about a 151.95. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Wanamaker's still not far behind, even though the death was there. But yeah, we do see a shift in the lead now.
I did it!
With the harder levels coming up, too. Drakodan and Wanamaker being this close. Whew. Sweating, dude. Sweating bullets.
Next time.
Oh, yeah. So we did say that these are the very technical stages, and stuff like that is common. It's not uncommon to see a death in Hidden Base, for sure. Now, Pyramid Cave is an interesting level because it's where we pick up the bounce bracelet, which is a very broken item. We're going to be
Interesting little mechanic there off that Chow box. Spin dash, hold A, then release your spin dash. You go straight up for some reason.
Yeah, holding A gives you hover frames, which makes you go a lot higher. So now we can super bounce, which is essentially just if you have a lot of speed and you bounce into a wall, all of your speed gets converted into purely vertical speed, so you can go very high.
Wanamaker having a little bit of trouble getting around that loop there. Unfortunate, but he'll
very
continue on.
bad
Oh,
camera
there's a death.
angle, and he takes a death because of it. It can be very tricky to fight the camera there.
And Drakodan whizzing around. He's going to be approaching what's called Snake Skip. He's going to be utilizing the brokenness of the bounce bracelet, basically putting...
Another
death
death.
for Wanamaker.
Oh.
Yikes. All right, here comes Snake Skip. Drakodan's going to set up.
Oh, misses the snake there.
And he's going to do a
Gets the
jump
second
there.
try.
And gets Snake Skip again. A very challenging trick there as well. Making that look really easy, though.
Certainly, I think the hardest part of Snake Skip is getting onto the snake properly. After that,
yeah.
you can gain a lot of confidence with that trick, and it's one of those things where get onto the snake, launch off right, you can get it.
And Draco showing the loop skip at the very end. Very same mechanic as Snake Skip, except for not on a snake. Instead on the side of the platform.
Yeah.
Oh, Wanamaker
Bouncing
going for a setup
second-
list. That would have been cool.
Oh yeah, that would have been pretty crazy. We've seen one setup list second door skip this tournament from Dej, which is really incredible to see.
So Wanamaker showing how the ghosts play a factor in the level too, getting a couple hugs there of reassurance as he whizzes
Yeah,
by.
they just like to give you a hug, you know?
Do no damage. Literally just there to be annoying.
They're just really cuddly. So yeah, Draco gets Big Marshmallow, a nice first piece in the core. Could be really good depending on what his second and third pieces are. On the red ball. Now he did go down to the bottom there, which is not something I would have personally done. And he's
Here comes
going
loop skip
to
for
blue.
Wanamaker.
Yep. Wanamaker finishes Pyramid Cave. Drakodan has quite the lead right now, so it's going to be hard for Wanamaker to catch up, but we could see anything happen.
No problem.
So this is interesting. With the first and second piece that Draco has had so far, he could get a very nearby piece. Yeah, he gets
Flying fish in the sand, pretty good for where he was.
It's very easy to get to from where he is. Very common to have a blue or a blue-red secret piece if you have those two first pieces.
Good reset here from Wanamaker after getting a reset piece early. He's going to get one directly next to where he starts off.
Ooh, 3 Container Brothers is a very good first piece. He could get extremely lucky and see a free piece in the core here, but there is no free piece for him to see.
It's closer.
Now, he can also get lucky and have a blue secret piece here, but we'll see. And no, he gets a pretty far away piece.
Yeah, he's going to do a death strat here to try to manipulate that closer.
I think he's going to try to aim for a secret piece. Wandering Ghost is also good. It's right past the green door, so...
So as he finishes up that level, we see Drakodan taking on King Boom Boo here. Now, if you casually play this game, you'll know that once you hit King Boom Boom, he becomes impossible to reach. Unless, of course, you understand Knuckles' speed mechanics, as the Ghost pretty much moves almost at the same speed as Knuckles. So if we take that inside line as Draco's doing, hit him 4 times, we can get out of there pretty quick.
Yeah, that's a really nice trick, but it's extremely costly if you mess it up. You pretty much either need to reset the fight or wait through his much longer attacks, because his attacks become longer and longer each phase of the fight.
Drakodan going for what's called a super bounce here. This is the same mechanic as the super bounces earlier in the game. However, there's a very, very small window of success to do it, as the platform you're trying to super bounce off of, which Drakodan shows there, is obviously incredibly short.
Yeah, you only have a handful of frames to get these super bounces in, so it's very common to see runners struggle to get super bounces. Perfect fight would look like just getting 3 super bounces and then getting a head smash attack. He's going for a 4th super bounce here, though, and then a head smash attack. Wow, that's a sort of greedy move at the end. Gets a 28. Really good fight, but he did have to reset at the beginning, so he lost time for that.
Yeah, but if you see, I mean, you're looking at the way Drakodan handles bosses. I mean, he's very well known in the community as being one of the best, if not the best, at the bosses in this game. So he definitely puts that on display right there.
He is the boss master. Comes up with a lot of strats for bosses that are useful and fast.
All right, Wanamaker missing the super bounce, electing to take the, I guess the developer intended route. You're going to see a couple of speed strats in here as well, but a little bit safer. Does cost him a good amount of time, though. It misses the super bounce there.
Ooh.
Oh, and he gets hit by the fist. That's terrible.
Gets
oh, man.
Smacked down into the sand.
Oh, not quite enough on that super bounce, too. That can be really frustrating as well if you don't get enough height.
So we see Draco here in Eternal Luncheon, currently on pace to get the first platform cycle. There is an out of bounds directly after that he'll go for. I believe he uses the door to clip out of bounds, although he might use the old setup. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know either.
The door is considered the more reliable method to get out of bounds.
So when you get super bounces with Egg Golem, it seems like a fairly simple and easy boss, but we can see that he can be kind of a big pain if you get him off of his cycles.
Yeah, you certainly don't want him to calculate.
Oh, Drakodan dropping instead of getting the quick platforms there. He'll take a death here, but that's only going to set him back maybe about, about 10-15 seconds. Unfortunately, Wanamaker struggling still with Egg Golem, giving Drakodan a little bit of leeway.
Draco is going to use that balloon to help him get over. And he does use the old setup. I was curious about that. Doesn't get it first try, though.
Oh, he does.
Get the
late.
backup.
Wow.
He doesn't get the backup with the door. That's interesting. So he used the old setup with the backup door opening.
So now we see Drakodan out of bounds. He's going to head basically pointing his gun. This is how I do it, at least. I'm pointing his gun to the very corner of his health bar. And he'll continue to go in this direction for quite some time until he sees two black pillars. He'll fall down the second one into the back of the goal ring, effectively doing Eternal Engine skip.
Yeah. One thing we don't see from a lot of runners yet is that the camera is actually panning around very slowly during the beginning of the skip. So you can curve against that to get an even tighter line, save another second or so. But we do see a 2 of 6 from Draco that did have a death, so certainly not his best, but definitely gonna still keep quite the lead here. Wanamaker exposing that dangerous Chow key. I actually hit that Chow key earlier in my race with Wanamaker today. It was very embarrassing. Yeah, it was very embarrassing. I didn't even know what to do with myself.
Holy moly! Yeah. If you reset the level, do you keep the Chow key?
I don't remember. I think you don't, but resetting the level wastes a lot of time, so I just didn't reset the level.
Right. Well, you got to check your Chow middle of the race too. I mean, I see the value in that. Sweet Drakodan on the last set of knuckle stages that have RNG. Well, last knuckle stage period. So he's got to go all the way up, which is kind of unfortunate here. Let's see where this third piece takes him.
Circle rotating. Well, that's not so bad. That's actually a very good layout, I'd say. Middle to top to middle. Oh,
and he misses the piece,
falls
though.
Down. Oh, he saved himself just in time.
Wow. Good recovery from Draco at 39.
That was
definitely not
pretty
bad.
scary there. 39
Yeah, very
is
scary.
definitely
Holy cow.
above average, I would say. I'd say about maybe a good average would be like a 45. So 39 is a great layout. And he could have gotten faster than that too if he hadn't messed up a little at the end.
Right. All right, we're going to see a Rouge fight. I believe the approach to this fight is probably going to be varying between Wanamaker and Draco. I don't know if Wanamaker does the drill strats, but Drakodan going to display a different set of movements here to basically kind of some gap coverage and some punching with Rouge.
Oh yeah, he's going to get a ringless, very fast first hit, and then he's going to time all of the rest of the hits just after her iframes go away to get a 14. Is that a 62? Oh my
That is a 62.
Goodness. That is a really good fight.
There's Drakodan being Drakodan, you know?
That is really good. I'm sure he's happy with that fight. Very, 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 very fast. All right.
Now we see Drakodan go for what's called CGSS, Crazy Gadget, Super Skip, or Skip, or Sugary Skip. I don't really, whatever you want to call it.
Depends who you ask. We all call it different things.
So he's going to manipulate gravity here. As you see, Sonic's kind of going into a bunch of different types of walls, depending on which way the gravity is actually facing. What he's going to do here is go to a part in the level where you can actually change the gravity to whatever wall you want. He'll change it to the wall that will effectively be where the goal ring is.
So
and then he will try to skip the level. We'll see it.
Have to go back to hit that checkpoint. That is a very finicky checkpoint. Has a very terrible hitbox.
All right, he's going to try to go out of bounds here.
He did avoid all the kill planes. There are 3 kill planes you need to avoid there. I would say avoiding those kill planes is the hardest part of this.
Going to use some visual cues here to try to line up Sonic. Exits out of the spin dash and
good,
hits the goal ring.
Nice first try CGSS. That's going to really put him so far ahead. Really, this gap is going to be extremely hard for Wanamaker to close. We're going to have to see massive mistakes from Drakodan.
Massive mistakes, yeah.
It's closer.
that I don't suspect we'll see either. So it seems like Draco has an extremely solid chance of winning this race and sweeping the entire pool.
Absolutely, man. That CGSS, I think if you ask any runner, they'd take that any day of the week. Very, very good. Well, I mean, other than the checkpoint, but that's not a whole lot Draco can do about that. I see a very scary Eggman 2 fight here for Draco.
Yeah.
And manages to get it at 1669.
Hey. So Draco's now going to enter Final Rush. He can get a gravity bounce off of a rail here. Although, I do believe he does not bounce. He does this bounce lists.
Oh, he does the same setup. Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Drill and Rouge. That's what we do.
Gets a 15. Wanamaker does not time the hits to end after to hit her after the iframes run out, because that's a bit trickier. It takes a lot more practice.
Here comes Drakodan with Final Rush. He's actually going to be going around a bunch of kill planes here to go around the entirety of the level and head right to the goal ring at the very end. This is a huge skip. Final Rush skip is. He does the bounceless setup. Saves a little bit of time.
Yeah, he's one of the few people who actually intentionally goes for bounceless.
So he's going to set himself in that crook right there on the bottom map. You can kind of see the visual cue. It looks like a little, I guess like a half circle of water next to a bunch of cloudy land. He's going to put himself right there. That should take him right to the goal ring.
Yeah, it should. And he should have plenty of height. He has developed this particular bounceless setup to get him as much height at the end as possible.
All right, Wanamaker going for CGSS as well.
Going for CGSS does hit the kill planes, though.
And that's very easy to do.
Yeah, there is a very small gap between all three of those kill planes that you need to get through.
All right, he'll be going for the alternative, though.
Yes.
Yep. So the idea of CGS is not... Whoa, another kill plane.
He does hit the kill plane right at the edge of that platform there.
These jumps are tough, you know?
Oh, yeah. That's a very tight jump you have to make. Drakodan with a 122 Final Rush. Very clean.
So CGSS is about getting out of bounds, dodging kill planes until you hit the goal ring. CGS, which is the longer version that Wanamaker is going for now, is still a good skip, but basically you're clearing a couple of these rooms kind of unintentionally in unconventional ways. We'll see Wanamaker do that here, but as Drakodan facing off against Shadow 2, looking to end his run, he's going to do a couple of rhythm-based hits here because you can't attack Shadow when he's in the air like that. Only when he exits out of his own spin dash can you get the hit on him, as Drakodan's going to need one more to finish his run, and does with a 37-22 overall. Drakodan being the winner.
A nice 16-37, and Wanamaker does get the CGS. Gets the goal ring at the end. 37-22, that's a fairly good race time.
That's a very good race time. Yeah.
No problem.
Overall, we did see it's just, man, a really close race until it broke open at Hidden Base with the death from Wanamaker. Drakodan squeezing some really impressive boss fights in there as well, even though there were a couple of deaths on both sides, but Drakodan consistently hitting some pretty impressive strats throughout the stretch at the very end, giving himself the win.
And that 37-22 was significantly ahead of Wanamaker's personal best, so if Wanamaker wanted to win here, he essentially would have needed to play better than his personal best.
Man, how great that would have been, though.
This is a very scary Eggman fight we're seeing right here, but he does finish it up.
Yeah, that's pretty low health. Pretty low health there for Wanamaker.
Yeah,
great run from Drakodan overall. Yeah, I mean, of course, Drakodan is at a very high level in this run, and compared to his PB, sure, but overall, you look at Drakodan's overall run, man, that's a great time. 37-22 is phenomenal, in my opinion, at least. It's better than my PB. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
It's very good for a race for sure.
All right, you see Wanamaker going through Final Rush as well. He's going to do pretty much the same setup as Draco did. We'll see if he uses the bounce strat instead, though.
Playing it a little safer to get onto that rail. He is going to go for the bounce. Now, the bounce is faster, and this angle he's taking, I don't see too many people going for this exact angle, but it might work.
Yeah.
It's a fairly steep angle there. And
there's a death plane right there he gets around, yep. Yep. That's an easy one to hit. If you turn that corner a little too fast, you do hit a death plane right off the bat there, and that can be demoralizing for runners. As we see Drakodan watching the credits here, again, shout out to anybody in the chat that's in the credits. You know, make yourself be known. Great game. GG.
Oh, he's very far left. Ooh, he does adjust to the right to avoid the kill plane at the end. That's good, because he was definitely far enough left to hit it. So
yeah, yep. So he avoids a couple of death planes there, which is very good. So there it is. Wanamaker with fast FR complete. Reading fast FR in the chat. Definitely not fast FR. There is a faster version of Final Rush that is done lower in the rails in the very beginning, but does run the risk pretty heavily of hitting a death plane, but saves time. So. Oh
yeah, that fast FR, you essentially need to go directly through a kill plane to get the fast FR skip.
Yeah.
You just have to have the game not detect you interacting with that.
So here comes Wanamaker on the shadow fight. His first hit well.
Does get a
gets popped down though.
This could make the platform start falling, but that's scary.
Saves it. Needs one more hit to finish it off. Oh,
just
a good defense there. Shadow too.
And that's
there it is.
It off with a 28.
So 41:02 from Wanamaker. Not a bad marathon time either. But Drakodan showing his experience, showing his expertise in the game with both the overall of the levels, and of course we saw some phenomenal boss fights from Drakodan as well. And Wanamaker making a couple mistakes throughout the stretch, still had put together an overall good performance though. But you know, going up against Draco, who has a great experience and great execution in this game, that's a tough one to win for Wanamaker. Great run from both, dude. Great game. Very, very fun race to watch.
Oh yeah, very solid. Solid performance from both runners. I do believe next we have a race with Wanamaker, or no, it's actually Draco is racing Co-Empathy. So we'll see those two race.
You're commentating for that?
I am.
Sweet. I'm actually going to be dipping out, so you can have fun commentating that one.
Oh yeah, I'll have a lot of fun.
All right, guys. Well, that is coming up next. We see Drakodan taking the win over Wanamaker and on his route to potentially sweep his entire bracket, taking the #1 seed out of Group D. And we see Wanamaker now 2-1, I believe. Still having a great chance of obviously making the tournament. But, you know, does take that loss to Draco. A very great run overall. Thank you guys for having me. Enjoy Jazz and Drakodan and Co-Empathy, who's the #2 in the Group D, coming up next.
Oh yeah, she did beat me. That was quite the race.
So thanks again, Jazz. That was fun.
All right.